Edward, thank you. Here now is former Reagan Economic Advisor, the great Art Laffer. Art, good to see you. Always looking handsome.
Good to see you, Sean.
Thank you. A question for you. So here,
Thanks.
You have Joe Biden talking about making progress. He's talking about his optimism on the economy, and here the American consumer, the American family, is losing 8.5% of their salary because of Joe Biden's policies.
Yeah, Sean, making progress. It's much worse than when he first came in, and things aren't getting better. They are getting worse. The stock market's down a great deal, which is the harbinger of a bad economy to come. So all of these things are changing, but all in the wrong direction. There's no stabilization. I think we're in for a big downturn in the real economy as well. I don't know how far this market goes, but they need to change policies, and they need to change them right away. But Sean, as you know and I know, they're not going to. They're stuck in the mud. They're set on they'll double down on every bad bet they've made, and that's what they're doing. So the only way I can see of changing this world is by elections. And, elections have consequences, and let's hope this November those consequences make it very clear to this administration that they don't like, people don't like what they're doing, and we want a big change. And then we'll have even a bigger change in 2024, and then we're going to be in, I think, a wonderful situation after that.
I think you're right. Elections matter, and they have consequences. But I think really if Republicans win, they're going to do a lot of oversight. That's true. But they also would control the power of the purse. So you're not going to have these massive trillion-dollar bills that
Yes.
fund more money into the economy. That's a positive. And then you have the Fed raising rates.
Yes.
Those two things together, is that going to be enough to get inflation under control and this economy back on track, at least slowly, Art?
Well, I don't think that'll be enough. No, I think we need to wait until the election and then really do some very positive things. We need to stop spending. We need to reduce debt as a share of GDP quite substantially. We can do all of those things, but what we can do is what we need is a stasis period where we're not falling off the edge of a cliff all the time. What I hope the Republicans don't do, Sean, and if I may say, I hope they don't seek revenge on Democrats and use all of this oversight to go after all these people and all these different things. It's time for a level head. We don't need to make up for all the bad mistakes in the past, Hunter Biden and all these people. There's no revenge that we need to do. We need to go forward and provide a very positive economy for Americans in general and not seek revenge on the others. And I hope we don't do what the Democrats did. They went after Donald Trump all the time. They go after every one of these people. You bet posted and all that stuff. No. We should all be allowed to have our views, all have our says, and not go after people in the past. But just solve the problems.
I agree with you on revenge. I don't want to see revenge, but I do want to see transparency. I want to see transparency on the border. I want to see transparency in energy prices. I want to see transparency in how the American taxpayer dollar has been spent. And I want transparency whether Hunter Biden actually links to Joe Biden and whether he's compromised. That's not revenge. That's good government. But here's my concern, though. When I ran for office and when you worked with Ronald Reagan, you wanted to make people's lives better. You wanted to improve their lives, make their families stronger. And we have new polling that's come out that's talking about, families don't have enough money when they're trying to put food on the table. They have to cut out ingredients.
No, they don't.
36% of Americans say they have to cut out ingredients of food when they're cooking. And they've also said the fact that another third are concerned about a lack of energy. I mean, people's lives are getting worse, Art, not better. You got to sometimes substitute meat out of your meals because you can't afford it.
Yeah, we need to get a better economy, that's for sure. And if you remember Jimmy Carter, I think Biden is even worse than Jimmy Carter, if that's possible. And when Reagan said, "Are you better off than you were 4 years ago?" Well, this midterm elections, are you better off than you were 2 years ago? No, you aren't. The one thing Donald Trump did, he for sure gave us a great economy. Those Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, the poverty rates, all the unemployment rates and the minorities, the disenfranchised, the revenues popped up. All of that was Donald Trump that did that. Now, we've got Biden. The question is, we need a change back to good economics. And good economics is all we really need. All these other problems will just collapse before our very eyes when we have good economics, prosperity, and economic growth.
Art,
all of it will. And that's what we need to do instead of focusing on the past.
I want to take you to the global stage here, right? So back in the Reagan era, we rebuilt the military, and you guys worked to rebuild the economy, and a strong American economy projected strength around the world. right? And now you look today with you have a bumbling president, you have a weak economy, and we have this conflict, with Russia and Ukraine. What impact do you think that the American economy and the lackluster recovery and Joe Biden's, inability to sound strong on the global stage is actually impacting, those things together, impacting Russia's aggression in Ukraine and in other parts of the world?
Yeah, let me just say that Reagan's prosperity collapsed the Soviet Union.
Yes.
The threat of war dropped dramatically under Reagan. If Trump were president today, do you think the Russians would be in Ukraine? Do you think there'd be a real problem between China and Formosa, Taiwan? Do you really think so? I don't think so. I think it's the weakness of the Biden administration, my view, that really caused the problems. It was the weakness of Jimmy Carter that caused the OPEC oil embargo, caused the Iran hostage crisis.
Yes.
All of those were byproducts of weakness. We need a strong government, a strong country, low taxes, sound money, free trade, and then go. Is what we really need. And we'll get it. We will get it. I guarantee you. It just may take a week or two.
Art, how come you always make so much sense? You're always so smart when you come on the show. I appreciate it. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you very much, Sean. Right. It's a real pleasure.
Thank you. All right.